Oh yeah, mod wheel time. Go to the next level. This is all real time, just having fun. New library. Speed it up. Let's kill the drums. By the way, that's OMG Volume 2. Coming soon! Okay, so make it go away. This is all Omnisphere. Hi, welcome to a new video from a new location. My name is John Skippy Limcool. This is a Plugin Guru video. This is a new location. I have moved. It's one reason why you haven't heard from me in video form for a while, because I've been a quarter mile away. I lived in a house for a year, and the people that owned the house that rented it to me needed it back. So I needed a new place, and I found this place, and I've moved, and I like my room very much. In this video, I'm going to give you a tour of both a new library that's coming very soon and a tour of my studio, and maybe show you some tips and some things to think about you might not have thought about. I have a whole bunch of libraries on my website. Please go to pluginguru.com, and I humbly thank you for your business, and that keeps the bills paid, so I can keep doing what I'm doing and sharing knowledge, information, sounds. Let's do this. Let's do the studio first, and then I'll show you this library. So I'm going to actually use my little Sony camera here for this video part, so I can give you a tour and step away. So I'm going to back up. So this is my studio. Let's back up. This is still to be organized, very disorganized. But there it is. And the attic space gets hot. So I have an air conditioner in the bathroom. Yes, this attic has a bathroom. Kind of crazy. But crawl spaces. That's where the exhaust fan is going to blow the air into, while it's blowing cold air into the attic space. If you get one of these, I highly recommend getting some of this really cool little foily stuff to wrap around pipes that get really hot, because this is the hot exhaust air that goes into the attic space. It's very, very hot. So there's a tip. So here's my desk. This is an IKEA desk, and it's an L-shaped desk, which is really cool. It makes it so I have space for things there. There's the brackets, these back brackets, and this top came from IKEA. But I didn't feel it was strong enough, so I bought these kind of industrial, you twist and it goes up and down in opposite directions, and so I can go like this to fortify the strength. It's got little rubber feet here and rubber feet here. So that makes it so I have one over there and I have one over here. So then I have more support for the monitors. Here's my AKG microphone, my webcam. I have Mackie speakers, and I have some KRK V6s for referencing, and they sound pretty good in this room. This is actually acoustic treatment. Yes, it goes all the way back over there. Can you believe it? This place is absolutely huge compared to where I was before. I was in like a 12 by 12 bedroom space. So I've just put a bass trap and some panels. These are like 20-year-old panels that I've had since Los Angeles, when I lived in Los Angeles. I will redo this room. You're going to see a transformation in this room. That's why I wanted to kind of document it now. Here's my Mini Moog. This is my 88-note keyboard. It's a Yamaha PFP, and it has speakers built into it. And that's something important to think about, because this way, that could be asleep and I can still play. It's also a good tuning reference when I'm working on patches like these that have tuning issues at times. Over here is my mixerless solution, which is Universal Audio's Apollo. Because if we go around to the back, see how well this works. See all those inputs? Those are mixer inputs. And there's also there's ADAT light pipe. And this is a Focusrite Octapre. I think it's the Octapre, what's it called? That's not focusing. Yeah, the Octapre Mark II. This is 8 analog inputs to ADAT light pipe. And so when I plug this via ADAT light pipe into the Universal Audio, and then I go up to my Mac, and I'm gonna call it console, there's my mixer. It's mixerless, it's in software now. And I have access to all 16 analog inputs. It's wonderful. I can have all these guys making sound into here, my modular synth. This is Maxwell. He's being used as we speak. He's actually clean right now. All the cables are all over here waiting for use. But he's being used for Mega Magic Dreams 2, as I am working on that. In between all this other stuff that's going on. Access Virus and Analog 4. There's a whole lot of stuff over there. That's office space, printer, bookkeeping, all that kind of stuff. So yeah. Here's my 2 Waldorf modules that I'll never get rid of because I love the Waldorf sound. Awesome. This is an Airlawn chair. There's a website I know of. There's a couple where you can get this chair for under $500. It's mesh and it's very strong. It's industrial and heavy and nice to sit in. So there you go. So there's a tour of the studio. Hopefully that might help some of you that are working on your rooms, thinking of what to do and how to upgrade them, add new abilities, new features. Studio spaces are a work in progress until the day you die, I promise. I know very few people, unless you're one of the big film composers in the world and you have lots of money and you just, this is what I want. Even then, those guys want to change and upgrade and add new things. So, okay, so I think that covered everything here. Okay, so I've been working for a while on a library. Let me give you a little history this way. Arnie Schultz is the creator of the samples that this library is based on. 1987, I was working at a music store in Seattle, Washington, selling Casio FZ1s, and we had ordered this sound library of floppy disks from Casio for the FZ1. And it was a library made by Arnie Schultz. So he's kind of a legend in some ways, in some circles, because he has been around a while and made some really cool stuff. Yamaha and Roland has bought different companies have bought his sounds. He's done a whole lot of the work for a lot of the Yamaha synthesizers for their samples. The looping, all that kind of stuff. He's a mad genius. He used to have this whole console where he had key commands and he had these special places to like just automated by pushing buttons type of a system that was pretty cool. I actually hope to interview Arnie after this library is out, so you guys can get a little knowledge from him, because he is a deep well of information. Anyway, these sounds are actually available. Industrial Universe. And there's a whole bunch of different libraries. They're $20 just for the samples. And they come in these different formats, and there's not really much programming to them here. They're also available as a bank for the Yamaha motif. And here they're $80. And that's for 64 patches. Using these samples, I haven't played it. I don't know how they sound. I don't know what's going on there. So I have taken those samples. I talked to Arnie at the NAMM show we can zoom in. Ooh. I talked to Arnie at the NAMM show, and he's like, I've got these sounds, and I wish I could get more people to be aware of them. And part of my goal is to get you guys involved and know about lots of people that are programming, people that are big people in our industry, big people that are contributors, and new people. And so I was like, great, well, let me have the samples to work with. And I got them, and I started working with them, and they were great. And I made probably 80 patches or so. And then I sent it to my team. And this is where it's really exciting for me, because for 25 years, I've been part of the Korg team and done voicing with Korg on synthesizers since the T-Series and the 03R rack. I remember doing that in New York with headphones, pushing little buttons on that and using the controller. The wave stations, wave drums, we've always had a team. And when you have a team, the advantage is each person approaches this instrument from a different perspective, from different knowledge, background, history, everything. So I was able to get Airwave, Exosun, Jason, Tim Dale, Kid Anthem, and my assistant, Taylor Harris. They all contributed patches, and we're now sitting at over 190 patches for a whole lot of very cool, kind of vintagey. You'll hear synclavier, you'll hear all sorts of stuff. Some of these sounds I've heard in records, I've heard them before. They're not new sounds. This is not new source. In fact, if I initialize the multi, we can go over here to the patches. I'll show you real quickly. This is the preview. I'm going to give you a step-by-step patch walkthrough in the future. And you might go, that's weird. But here's what you do. Turn on layer 2, go to the synth, add a waveform, take it down, let's say 2 octaves, so it's really impressive. Hit link, go to the amp, make a nice slow fade in, slow fade out. It's cool, really cool. Some of the sounds from this series, Roland purchased the licensing rights to use for the CD-ROM that came with Roland S700 samplers 25, 23 years ago. So they've been around a while, but they're cool samples, and there's a lot you can do with them, and we did a lot with them. So by taking that concept with, let's see, let's turn this off, all these different, some are these cool chord things, Ghost, okay, all sorts of cool stuff, wave station-y kind of things, all sorts of stuff. So we made really cool sounds. If I play the right notes, Art. Airwave did these. So we have stuff like that. All sorts of really cool. I just did these for this multi that I made. I'll show you all that stuff in detail in a couple of days. So there's these, there's BPM synths, there's all the chord. Each time you play it, it's random. So you get a groove going. And crazy stuff, crazy stuff. Leads, the Airwave did these unbelievable. So if you need war booms, so there's tons. I let the guys and myself use Mega Magic Dreams and Mega Magic Pads so that we could add additional interesting things that were not part of the existing library. I wanted to make this as unique and separated from what's in the factory voicing and the factory patches as possible. So it's all new. I have cool leads. You get the idea. Cool pads. Effects, like really cool, like synthy things, and a ton of textures. Just really cool. Okay. So I'm in the final birthing process of this library, which involves level checks, final tweaking to some of the patches, tuning issues on some of them, controllers. Taylor Harris finished last night going through and adding comments to some that were blank. It's nice to have an assistant to help me do stuff like that so I can focus on doing the multis and the other things that it's been nice to have an assistant. So. All right, so I just want to give you a quick teaser preview, which I have. I gave you a preview of the studio and a tip, free tip. With this library, a lot of these are very old samples that come from 8-bit, 12-bit, 16-bit, not much from 24-bit because it wasn't around back when these were made. It was starting to come, but it wasn't there for a lot of them. So a lot of these samples are pretty harsh. There's a lot of stuff in the high end. So one trick I want to make sure you guys know about, because this has helped me a lot with this library, is the Studio EQ. Because it has both a high pass filter for band 1 and it has a low pass filter for band 2. So I don't think we need the low pass filter right now, but I don't need, let's see. I don't need the high pass filter right now, so let's turn that off. But this low pass filter, check this out, with this off, with it on, did you hear how high that energy on the high end just became a little more manageable, even with it's at 20K? And if you wanted to get it back, you could add some Q, which will bring back, same for the low end. But you can, we did a lot of this to selectively shape the sounds to fit into certain bandwidth areas, while we would use layer B to add something else that would cover the rest of the frequency domain to make interesting sounds. So there's your tip for the day. The Studio EQ has both a high pass filter to get rid of low end and a low pass filter to get rid of high end. And you can use the Q to get exactly what frequencies you want allowed into the sound mix. Okay? So there you go. All right, so it should be less than 3 or 4 days and the library will be out. So by the time most of you are seeing this, it's already out because videos last forever. But it's on its way. So thank you for your time. Hope this helped you and inspired you and gave you some things to think about, both for studios, for new sounds, all that stuff. So see you soon. Thanks.